For today's episode of Let's Talk Jinx, patch notes, patch 13.18 of League of Legends, we have several things happening in this patch. None of them involve Jinx directly, however. Nonetheless, there are other AD carry changes that could affect Jinx in the lane matchup, as well as some item changes, notably Storm Razor and Static Shiv, in case you happen to build those items. If BRIAR, or BRIAR, however you want to pronounce that name, that's champion, which is an August Browning champion, who also made the kit for Jinx, as a matter of fact, is coming out on this patch. So, in the patch notes, which if you want to go to that link, has actually ability rundown, champion rundown, and there's even a champion spotlight as of this morning. You can check that out individually. Perhaps we will talk about this champion and how they work in a same team composition with Jinx next week. But for other AD carry changes, Senna, passive critical strike ratio removed. W now applies passive to all enemies caught in the AoE. So in short, what this means is the critical ratio reduction means that there's no longer a reduction in the critical strike damage on the passive. If you have not been playing the game long, Senna used to have this way back in the day. And it was actually nice because when you built more of a crit build and itemized it, it felt better. This made Senna move toward a lethality build, if you will. And now it seems like you can kind of go back to safely and reliably building a crit build as well. Senna, like most champions when they came out, were powerful, so they had to find something to do. Also, they wanted to keep Senna more of a support marksman than a marksman, and by letting Senna crit too much, of course, she could be just a regular AD carry, with infinite range. Now that these changes have gone into effect, Jinx-Senna matchup is not quite necessary, because even though Senna is a marksman, they are in fact a marksman support. So if you're playing with a Senna, however, both of you are going to be possibly building crits together and critting your enemies. And as we know in the days of the old runes and mastery systems, even 1% crit rune getting off, especially early, could be kind of nice. Probably will not happen though. It looks like they have all the levers pulled to make sure something crazy won't happen, but allowing Senna to be crit again. If you're playing against a marksman that has Senna on their team though, it's probably the same business as usual, harassment. But the harassment might not be lethality, so the harassment possibly might not be as much damage. We're going to have to see. Xayah. Xayah is the other AD carry change in these patch notes. The base health decreased, health growth increased, E cooldown increased. The thing about Xayah is they've been dominating in pro play recently, and that's not good for the health of the game, especially on the Worlds patch coming up. If you don't know, I think 13.18, this patch that we're talking about, or 13.19 is the Worlds patch. I believe it's this one because the second one wouldn't be coming out until right before play-in stages, and I think they want to avoid that dilemma once again. With that being said, with some of these reductions, we're talking about health going down by 30 and the health growth going down. Or actually health growth is being increased, my bad. So that might actually offset each other. So what's the point of doing the one nerf if you're going to unset it with the other one? What happened to the days of actually just nerfing a champion and seeing what happens? Obviously, like I said, it's the World's patch. They want Xayah to still be playable if you want to play her. However, the Jinx-Xayah matchup is going to be a little bit interesting because the Blade Caller, the E, the one that retracts the feathers when you throw them out with the Q, for example, has an increase in the early ranks. So even if they take that first, they won't see that break even until actually maxing that out, where it's 9 seconds in both. The health could be interesting too, because if you have any kind of harassing support, like the aforementioned Senna, perhaps you can harass the Xayah down slightly more. Probably not because of the health growth being increased actually, but at the same time it could be a nice idea, because even in the early game, 30 HP can matter a lot. And you can make use of that with Jinx in her rocket form. Static Shiv will do more attack damage, but the Electroshock to minions will be going down from 250 to 350 to just 200 flat. So with Jinx, you don't really need this for wave clear. You have Runon's Hurricane, or if nothing else, the AoE built into your rocket launcher. But just in case you like to building this item, there you go. Storm Razor's attack damage, meanwhile, is going from 50 to 55 because it's not really built as much, and probably in preparation for the removal of mythic items. There are some new street demon skins. We don't need more demons in our lives, but however, some of these skins are for bot laners, so you might see them down the bot lane. Specifically, Zyra. Zyra is a support. This is what you're going to have to look at and deal with. Oh my goodness. That is horrible, isn't it? Yes, exactly. Are those freckles? Anyways, not important. Where were we? Yes. That is all for this patch though. We're going to keep the patch short and simple. If you haven't told with my voice, it's my morning voice because for some reason it can't warm up to save my life. So this is what we have to deal with for this video today, and I apologize. There are technically some other changes to some supports if you want to quickly mention them. Thresh's W shield strength per soul is being increased. Things Jinx, Dual lane is always a fun time, especially when they're strong. Rel, the E bonus movement speed's being decreased on the secondary Leona champion, if you will. So there's a couple other changes in there that we didn't talk about purely because we wanted to copy it on the AD carry focused idea. But Bard even has some changes, so you might see Bards, Thresh, and Rel in your game, all of which can work with Jinx. And obviously the newest champion, a August champion, will be coming this patch, and that will be very interesting to see. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until next time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly. Bye-bye.